Mic check, mic check, mic check. Okay, good. Looks like we are live. Alrighty. Alright, so welcome everybody once again to Doki Doki Literature Club. Tonight, first things first, I am your host for tonight, Antris, once again, diving in on this wonderful, wonderful world where absolutely nothing will go wrong. Warning, this game is not for the easily disturbed. Anyway, this stream is going to be a little different than the last two. Mainly because this is the last route before Act 2. Once we get to the end of Act 1, that's it. Like, let's go. There's no going back. So, let me clarify once again that I'm not going into this game blind. Rather, I'm playing this game because one, it got me a really tough phase in my life, and two, I'm going after the golden ending. This is something I'm not seeing a lot of people do, so I want to be among those that do. So, if you know how to do the golden ending, well, hopefully you stick around anyway. If you don't know how to do the golden ending, well, maybe a Google search will help you if you want to find the answer within 5 minutes. Or you can just sit here, relax. Well, actually, you're going to be tense up to a certain point, so relax as much as you can. because the game has been throwing me hints that there's something sinister beneath the surface. Okay? Like when Yuri was telling us about her book that suddenly takes a dark turn. And Natsuki, well, saying that her manga does have a plot, it just, you can't immediately tell. Like, the background events usually tie everything together. Also, it's about 4 girls. So, let's dive in. I'm telling you, I am not ready. I am not ready for this. Because you guys know, if those who play the game, those who are not blind to what's gonna happen, you know what's gonna happen. So, I did do a little bit of cheating because I wanted to get some trophies. Anyway, so I got the Yuri and Natsuki trophies, and I did the routes, so now we are going for the Sayori Route. It's the last one we're gonna do. Alright, will I really be happy? Well, happiness is relative. If you wanna see your man suffer, then yes. Yeah, if you enjoy that, then yeah, you're gonna be happy. Question. Okay, so Sayori. I would assume spinning is... no. Okay, we're gonna go for the perfect poem, at least one, so we can get the trophy. So, I would say maybe Rose. Yep, Rose is Sayori. I want to say bouncy, or maybe love. It's definitely love. Okay. Lacy. That's gotta be Sayori. No question. Okay, so maybe. Oh, I think it was. No, poof is a Natsuki thing. Oh, dang it. Incapable? No, that's probably Yuri. Okay, so... Judgment? Is it Judgment? Nope. Okay. So maybe Pure? No. Okay. Hurt? Is it Hurt? It's gotta be Hurt. Oh, definitely. Death. It's death. Oh wow. Yeah, I am so sorry. Kisses, Natsuki, maybe Jumpy? No, it's not Jumpy. Precious? Oh, Sayori's so precious. Okay. Okay, so it's gotta be Ribbon, right? Nope. Fun. Sayori's fun. Yep. Misfortune. Oh my goodness, girl, you're so miserable. No, swimsuit is Natsuki, I think. Rainbow? Maybe Marshmallow? Or was it Marriage? Oh, it's Marriage. Laugh? Definitely. Vivacious. Not big on big words. Maybe Jump. No, she's not Jump. One moment. Okay, so interrupted at possibly one of the worst times, but okay, no biggie. Let's just continue. I think it's promise. There we go. So, is it milk? I think it's no. Animate? No, it's not animate. Let's see, vanilla. Nope. Loud. It's gotta be loud. Hey. Unrequited. She's gotta be unrequited. Yep. In giggle? Nope. Surprisingly not. Memories. Memories. It's gonna be tragedy. Romance. Okay. It's gotta be childhood. Sure. Okay. Heartbeat. Strawberry sucks. Unstable. You know, I would think socks would be a Sayori thing, but it's actually not. So, Wrath, Eternity, Ocean. Is it Ocean? Oh yes. One more. One more. It's not unending. It's not. Is it color? It's gonna be. Yay! Sayori Trophy. Yeah, hi again, Monica. So, let's just skip that. There we go. Unskippable quotes. Looks like no one wants to be bothered today. I slumped down into the nearest desk. How am I supposed to occupy myself with something literature related about myself like this? I guess I could always read some of the book Yuri gave me. But I'm feeling a little too tired to read. Probably fall asleep right now. I close my eyes and end up listening in on Sayori's conversation with Monica. They're probably gonna seem really lame compared to all the other clubs though. Well, am I on? Okay, I'm on. Yeah, well, we can't give up. The festival is our chance to show everyone what literature is all about. The problem is the idea of a literature club sounds too dense and intellectual. But it's not like that at all, you know? We just need a way of showing that to everyone. Something that speaks to their creative minds. That doesn't solve the problem though. What do you mean? Even if we come up with the most fun thing ever, nobody will come in the first place if it's a literature event. So it's more important to figure out how to get people to show up in the first place, you know? And after they come, we can do the thing to speak to their creative minds. So this is probably what they were talking about. They're goofing off with Natsuki or Yuri on that first day. What's this? Sayori is taking this really seriously. It's rare to hear her deliberating like this. Huh, that's a good point. In that case, do you think food will do the trick? What kind? Oh, there she is. Well, I guess we could... Cupcakes! Good thinking. Natsuki would love to do that. You're right. Natsuki makes the best cupcakes. That works out perfectly. That wasn't why you suggested it? Cupcakes speak to my creative tummy. Sweat drop. Ellipsis. Cupcakes it is then. I'm hungry. Anyway, we still need to work out the details of the event itself. I find myself smiling. In the end, Sayori is still her usual self. But there lies the unexpected reason I admire her. Oh, so you're falling for her, huh, MC? Unlike me, who has trouble finding any mood relatable, Sayori can put her mind to things that make them come to life. Also relatable. I suppose that's why I end up letting her get on my case about things. I can't help but wonder what it will be like to see the world through her eyes. No, you don't, friend. Oh, my goodness. Oh, and she's blushing. I open my eyes to find Sayori's face filling my vision. I nearly fall out of my chair. Sorry. Wait, actually, I'm not sorry at all. It's your fault for sleeping like that. This isn't the napping club. Does the school have a napping club? You're staying up late again, aren't you? Now that you're in a club, you're gonna have less time for anime, you know. Who wants that, honestly? I want my time for anime. You'll need to get used to it. Don't say that so loud. I glance over my shoulder to see if Monica overheard. It's true, though. Yeah, I know. You're always looking out for me, Sayori. It's what I do best. That's a problem. What about you? You look out for me better than you look out for yourself. You're still oversleeping every day, aren't you? Eh? Not every day. That's not very convincing. How many days this past week have you gotten up on time? It's a secret. I know it. Come on. I know it. Okay, just making sure that I can hear my voice. Anyway. At least give me the benefit of the doubt. I can't even do that. Look, Sayori, it's written all over you. Huh? Sayori glances around at herself. How is it written all over me? You weren't clearly in a rush this morning. Look, your hair is sticking out all around here. I run my fingertips down the side of Sayori's hair, trying to straighten it out. Oh, she's feeling it. Man, you really need to brush for this. You need a brush for this. My hair is just really hard to get right. I won't fall for that. There's more than just your hair. Look, your bow isn't even straight either. And there's a toothpaste stain on your collar right there. I tried to wipe off the stain with my finger. But nobody would ever notice that. Of course they would. Nobody's gonna tell you about it because they don't want to embarrass you. Fortunately, I don't really care about that. You meanie. And you don't even keep your blazer buttoned up. Yep, that's something I've noticed since the first stream. Seriously, Sayori. Why do you think you don't have a boyfriend yet? That's super mean. Sorry, but you'll thank me later. I started to button her blazer from the bottom. Once you see how much better it looks, you'll change your mind. Oh. This is like the first CG with Sayori. This is so funny. What is? Well, I was just thinking how weird it is to have a friend who does these kinds of things. Don't say that. You'll make me feel weird about it, stupid. It's okay though. I'm happy we're like this. Aren't you? I guess. Hey, be careful. The button might come off. Why is this one so hard to close? I struggled to fully close the button near her chest. Gee, buddy, you don't know why? Does this thing even fit you properly? It did when I bought it. Sigh. If you ever buttoned it, you would have noticed sooner that it doesn't fit you anymore. What are you smiling about? I mean, it means my boobs got bigger again. Don't say that out loud. Thank you. Anyway, you look much better now, so... Why does it feel strange to see Sayori's blazer buttoned up like that? But it's so stuffy. It's not worth it at all. Sayori hastily unbuttons her blazer once more. That's so much better. Sayori puts her arms and twirls around. Puts her arms out and twirls around. So if I keep it unbuttoned, then I won't get a boyfriend, right? What kind of logic is that? Why are you saying like it's a good thing? Well, it can be a good thing. It can. I mean, you know, your brain's not fully developed when you're 18, so, you know, just wait it out. Go to college, or maybe not even go to college. Just do what you want to do. Let your mind develop in its own way. I believe in you, Sayori. I do. I'm not sure about why this guy isn't. Anyway. Because if I had a boyfriend, then he wouldn't even let you do things like this. Fair, but that he would get to do it, and that's fine. And you take care of me better than anyone else would anyway. Oh, well. So that's why I'm keeping it unbuttoned. Stop saying all these embarrassing things. Huh? I didn't say anything embarrassing. You know, lack of self-awareness can be a good thing. Well, anyway, just focus on trying to wake up a little earlier. Only if you focus on getting to bed earlier. Fine, fine. It's a deal. It's a promise. Guess we really are better at taking care of each other than we are at taking care of ourselves. Yeah, I guess so, huh? I mean, I guess... Actually, that kind of logic is weird, but it makes sense. I mean, if two people take care of other people more than they do themselves, maybe they cross paths, they'll take care of each other more, and that way they take care of themselves, if that makes sense. I mean, as long as they, you know, as long as they're both cool with it, and as long as the work isn't overwhelming, I mean, why not, right? So maybe you should come wake me up in the morning. She had an ulterior motive. That just throws everything what I said out the window. Though, not entirely. You're doing it again, Sayori. But I was joking that time. And it's impossible to tell with you sometimes. Okay, everyone. Monica suddenly calls out. Why don't you share the poems we wrote now? Yay! Interest? I can't wait to read yours. Yeah, same. I felt to sound enthusiastic, but Sayori still trots away to retrieve her poem. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. Okay, let's skip that. A little bit of Monica over here. Yesterday she seemed eager to read my poem, and I want her to know I'm putting in effort. Hi. Having a good time so far? Does she say anything new? I like this one. It makes me think of something Sayori would like. Is that so? You and Sayori are really good friends, right? I wouldn't be surprised if you had those sorts of things in common. Well... We may be good friends, but Sayori and I are actually really different. Well, that may be the case. But maybe there's also some similarities that you wouldn't expect. You know, she does the pointy finger thing just like Alphino does. The way she talks about you, it sounds like the two of you really care about each other's well-being. Even if you show it in different ways, it ends up being more similar than you'd think. So I think that's the kind of vibe I get when reading your poem. Into it too much? I could be. Oh gosh, I sound just like Yuri. But in any case, Sayori's writing has kind of a gentle feel to it. Ah, yes, that's the word. That's the word, yes. Like Sayori is not overly cutesy and she's not overly intellectual like Yuri. She's kind of in between. She's got a gentle sense of both. But like she said before, she likes happy poems and she likes sad poems. Because the sad, when you have a little rain cloud on your head, the sad poems can give the little rain cloud a hug. That's how she put it. And I couldn't think of a better way to put that, actually. I can know that she likes exploring with emotions, like happiness and sadness. Who knew that someone so happy would enjoy sad things too? Yeah, that's totally unexpected. Well, to each their own. And you shouldn't be afraid to experiment a little bit either. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. Thanks for listening. Natsuki. How are you, girl? Listen, I would really go for your route again. No problem. It's just... I have to move on. Well, it's about what I expected from someone like you. That's a little blunt. Well, excuse me. It's not like I said it was bad. It just didn't evoke any emotions. So basically, it's not cute enough for your tastes. Do you want to get smacked? I'll pass. Sigh. Well, anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it. Yeah, I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has all to be sophisticated and stuff. As much as I would love to read your dialogue again, Natsuki, I am so sorry. Okay, Yuri, you're next. What do you have to say? Yuri stares at the poem. Oh, she's got nothing new. Okay. Come on, Sayori. Huh? Oh my goodness. This is so good, Interest. Huh? I love it. I had no idea you were such a good writer. Sayori, you must be seriously overreacting. I'm not a good writer at all. I honestly have no idea what I'm doing. That's adulthood, buddy. Well, maybe that's why. Because I keep it. Jeez. Yuri's opinion was way more constructive than this. Are you sure you don't like it just because I wrote it? Huh? Well, I'm sure that's part of it. I think I understand you better than a lot of other people, you know? So when I read your poem, it's not just a poem, it's Antress's poem. And that makes it feel extra special. I can feel your feelings in it. Sayori hugs the sheet against her chest. You are so weird, Sayori. I'm really just happy that you wrote one. Oh. Oh boy. Okay, suddenly both girls turned toward me as if they noticed I was standing there. Oh, wait a minute. Interest. She's just trying to make me look... That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to figure it out. Hope you explain that to her, Antress. Wait! There's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Antress? Well, how did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing. But whoever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. So of course that's going to be... Sayori, please help me. Natsuki? Natsuki glares at me, drawing up any words I had in my mouth. So instead I turn to Yuri. But Yuri's expression is so defenseless that I can't bring myself to say anything to her. Sayori. Huh? Yeah. Everyone's fighting is making Sayori uncomfortable. How can the two of you keep fighting when you know you're making your friend feel like this? Interest. Well, that's her problem. This isn't about her. I agree. It's unfair for others to interject their own feelings into our conflict. Yeah, unless Sayori wants to tell Yuri what a stuck-up jerk she's being. She would never. It's your immaturity that made her upset in the first place. Excuse me? Are you listening to yourself? This is exactly why nobody likes. Stop. Natsuki, Yuri, you guys are my friends. I just want everyone to get along and be happy. My friends are wonderful people, and I love them because of their differences. Natsuki's poem, they're amazing because they give you so many feelings in just a few words. And Yuri's poems are amazing because they paint beautiful pictures in your head. Everyone's so talented, so why are we fighting? Because, well, also, Natsuki's cute and there's nothing wrong with that. And Yuri's boobs are the same as they always were. Big and beautiful. Sayori stands triumphantly. Yeah. Again, not self-aware of what's going on, but at the same time, fully aware of what's going on. Like, she's... how do we explain this? Monica stands behind her with a bewildered expression. Oh, make some tea. Yuri rushes off. Natsuki sits down with a blank expression on her face, staring at nothing. So, Yuri's vice president. I whisper to Monica. She nods in return. To be honest, I might come off as a good leader, and I can organize things. But I'm not very good with people. I couldn't even bring myself to interject. As president, that's kind of embarrassing of me. It's not like I can blame you. I wasn't able to say anything either. Well, I guess that just means Sayori is amazing in her own ways, isn't she? You could say that. She might be an airhead, but sometimes it's really suspicious that she knows exactly what she's doing. Yeah. Like, this girl... What's the word for it? Like, she's cunning. Like... I mean, I don't want to say that she's dumb, because she's not dumb. She knows what she's doing. She knows exactly what she's doing. She's just... It reminds me of that one quote from Art of War by Lu Xu. Even though you're competent, pretend you're incompetent. Or, that's just me paraphrasing, but you know the point. Because you surprise people that way. Whether it's just life, or love, or war. If you show cunning, I don't know, I'm going nowhere with this, but still, it's something to think about. I see. Take good care of her, okay? I would hate to see her get herself hurt. That makes two of us. You can count on me. Monica smiles sweetly at me, causing my stomach to knot. Such a genuine person really does make a good president, regardless of what she says. If only I could get the chance to talk to her a little more. Well, the game doesn't give me a chance. Oh wow. So, I was wrong. I mean, Natsuki really... I thought Natsuki really was the perfect solution last stream. Because it didn't really, like, result in anybody storming out of the room. But it did to distance herself a little more. In this case, everybody just, like... Yuri just said she was gonna go off and make some tea. Natsuki just sits down, but she doesn't argue. I think this is the best outcome, honestly. So let's skip. Okay. Alright, let's see if I can do this on my own now. So, sunset, yep. Jump, sadness, there we go. Candy? Nope, okay. That's fine. Rain cloud, as we learned. Warm. Excitement. Oh wow, misfortune. Let's see. Smile? Yep. So, childhood, definitely. Depression! Please let that be the thumbnail. So, is it tragedy? Yep. So, anyway, I forgot what it was. Fireworks? Oh! You know, like in a lot of anime, like, a lot of couples come together when the fireworks are going off, so maybe that's one reason? The zone will be Yuri, I think. Holiday? Sayori, of course. Raindrops. Oh, that's Yuri. Oops. Anyway, suicide? Oh, my goodness, no, that's Yuri. Bouncy Natsuki. Okay. Shoot. Happiness. Okay. Ocean. Cake by the ocean. Flower. And... is it Bunny? Oh, that's Natsuki. Okay, I think the majority of those were Sayori. Oh wow, that went a little darker than usual. Pa! Entrance. There we go. More new content. Sayori suddenly comes up to me. I'm gonna go get some supplies from another classroom. Want to come with me? Supplies? What for? Well, you know how the festival is coming up? Me and Monica were gonna make some posters and stuff. So I need to go find some crayons and markers and glue sticks. I see. Sure, I'll go with you. Yay. Okay, Monica, we'll be back soon. Are you going with Andres to get supplies? There's no need to trouble yourself. I'd be happy to go with him. Aw, but I wanted to go. It's so much fun exploring empty classrooms and stuff. Okay. It was just a suggestion. See if you can find a poster paper too, okay? See, Monica wanted some time alone with me, but she didn't get a chance. Sayori interjected. But can't be helped. You ready, Andres? Yep, let's go. Sayori and I enter the clubroom. Follow behind as Sayori humps and skips around the hallway. Honestly, feels like I'm taking a kid to the mall or something. Sayori finds pleasure in the simplest things sometimes. Hey Sayori, what exactly are we doing for the festival anyway? I'm not sure how you would make an event out of literature. Me and Monica have it all planned out. Don't you worry. Is that so? Yep. We're gonna do a poetry performance. A performance. Of what kind? Well, everyone is gonna take turns on stage and recite their favorite poems. Ah, that sounds kinda dull. Oh, well, I mean, maybe for kids of that age. Interest. You're not thinking about it the right way at all. It's not just about reading poems. It's about performing them. Like, you say the lines of the poem like, between the last remaining flower beckons to me. I twist the stem, freeing it from its clinging roots, caressing the final joyous moment between my fingers. But to what ends have I summoned this joy? For now, when I look in every direction, the once prosperous field before me is but a barren wasteland. Did you take that from another poet? Like that? Sayori, how do I put this? I'm sure it's just me, but it's impossible for me to take you seriously when you talk like that. You meanie. I'm working super hard on this, you know? I know. I just mean that it's pretty unordinary contrast to your cute self. Don't say that, it's embarrassing. Ha! But I guess that means I'm doing a good job. Yeah, I guess so. I'm so excited. The festival is going to be so much fun. Sayori spins herself around in the hallway again. Hey, Interest, the classroom over here is empty. Let's begin the mission. The mission, huh? It's been a long time since I've spent time with Sayori like this. But in the end, she hasn't changed one bit. She's nothing but a ball of sunshine, drawing happy vibes from the world around her. It's a pretty nostalgic feeling for me. As the years went by, I began to hold myself up in my room more and more. So going adventuring with Sayori brings about a special sort of feeling I forgot I had in me. Wow, the theme. This is Sayori's theme, and now that I mention it, it's called Ohio Sayori. So, if you look that up, you'll hear this. The two of us enter the classroom. Sayori heads straight to the closet, and I follow. Let's see what we have in here. Crayons! Sayori pulls a box full of crayons off the shelf. They're the best brand too. They're kind of dirty though. Sayori starts pulling out various crayons out of the box, reading the color names. Alright, that's one down. Don't get this to find. Wait, I'm looking for my favorite color. Is it rose? Then at least move aside so I can look for the poster paper. I dropped them by accident. Ah! Sayori bends over and smacks her forehead right into the shelf. What is with this girl? She really is a ball of sunshine. She falls to the floor and the crayons spill all over her lap. Oh no, she's hurt. Oh, I am so sorry. You okay? My forehead. Sayori clutches her forehead. Geez, Sayori. That's just like you, isn't it? Come on, let me see. Since Sayori is sitting on the floor, I grab her by the waist and pull her out of the closet. You have to move your hand, Sayori. But it hurts. Just do it for a second. Oh my. Sayori slowly releases her hands from her forehead. I gently brush her side. Aw, look at that. Adorable. Hey, there's a huge red mark in the center of her forehead. A bump is starting to form as well. Man, that's gonna swell up. I should find you some ice. Andress. Where would I even find ice around this time? I guess a cold drink will do. You don't have to. I'm fine with looking like a unicorn. Even wincing from the pain, Sayori makes a silly joke. What are you saying? I'll be right back, okay? Okay. I pat Sayori on the shoulder and run out into the hallway. I locate the nearest vending machine. What should I get? It doesn't really matter since it'll be used as an ice pack rather than a drink. But I know Sayori likes apple juice, so I'll purchase one. Just a moment, I'm already returning to the classroom when I left Sayori. She has one palm on her forehead and is using the other hand to clumsily scoop crayon nuts. They're playing the sad theme. I mean, they did this with Natsuki and Yuri as well during the third day. This is the third day, by the way. At least they were already in the wrong spots before I spilled them. Sayori, here. I hand Sayori the bottle of apple juice. It's nice and cold. Sayori opens the cap and starts drinking from it. Sayori, what are you doing? It's for your forehead, you idiot. Sorry, I forgot. How hard did you hit your head? Oh, come on, that's a little mean. Sayori places the bottle against the bump on her head. Well, I guess since they're childhood friends, they kind of like get used to it. Like, you know how you treat your brother or sister? Like when you're kids? I guess this is kind of the same. Just a little different. It stings. Just bear with it. It'll feel better soon. Looks like you cleaned up, so that's good. Hey, Andress. This kind of reminds you of growing up, doesn't it? Why? Yeah, what do you mean? You know how we used to play outside all the time? I would always try to keep up with you. But kind of oblivious in some ways. Like I usually fell behind or had trouble climbing on the things you did. But sometimes when I tried to do things I couldn't, I would get myself hurt. I would fall and scrape myself or get a bump. And I would start crying really hard. I can already picture that. And you would rush over as quick as you could. You would try really hard to get me to stop crying. It was almost like you blame yourself and were afraid of getting in trouble if someone found out. Well, yeah, naturally. Even though it really wasn't your fault at all, you know. Did I really do that? Yeah, you don't remember? Come to think of it, maybe I do remember a little bit. Well, maybe these little moments were really precious to Sayori. I guess I was always so focused on my games that I didn't pay enough attention to you. I mean, you were kids, so in a way it was my fault. Kind of like this time too. If I wasn't rushing you out of the closet, you probably wouldn't have hit your head. Oh wow, is this character development for the MC as well? Interest. I don't think you realize it, but you're always thinking about other people. Am I? Even after all these years, you're rushing to help me even though I'm just being clumsy. You're really a sweetheart. Don't call me that. I don't really do this kind of stuff all the time. I guess when it comes to you, it just feels natural. Before I even know it, I'm treating you like that. I guess that's what happens when you've been friends for so long. Yeah. I mean, it's just natural at this point. Really? Maybe you're right. Interest. I'm so glad that nothing's changed between us. Do you think it'll be like this forever? Forever? If I'm honest to myself, there's no telling where we'll end up reaching up in college or after that. So it wouldn't be fair for me to make any promises. True, I mean, you gotta be honest with these kind of things, especially when you're an adult. I mean, if you've been friends for that long, she'd understand. But, well, I hope so. Oh, that's also a good answer. It's been this long already, right? I can't imagine you ever changing, so my hopes are up. I'm so happy. Sayori has a whimsical expression on her eyes. We remain silent for a moment. She's so silly and clumsy on the outside that I see her deep in thought like this. Makes me not want to disturb her. I guess we should go back. I don't want to worry Monica, you know. Good luck with that. She's gonna see your forehead either way. Not if I hide it under my bangs. Sayori hops to her feet. She clutches her forehead again. Don't stand up so fast after hurting yourself. Yep, and we're back to the silliness. Well, I guess it's too late now. Anyway, let's go. I follow Sayori out of the classroom. Sayori plays with her bangs, trying to hide the bump, but without so much success. In a moment, we make it back to the clubroom. Ah, you're back. Good timing. I was just ready to start sharing our poems. Sayori, your forehead. She's fine. Don't worry about it. I was playing with the crayons and smacked my forehead into the shelf. At least she's honest. Well, anyway. Were you able to find everything we needed? I have it right. Sayori frantically glances around herself. I forgot all this stuff. Calm down, Sayori. I have it all right here. MC the MVP. I found the poster paper too. Haha. Sounds like you ended up doing all the work, Interest. Well, Sayori, I failed to come up with an excuse for Sayori. I made it an adventure. Yeah, that. Okay. In any case, good work. I'll start working on those posters tonight. Me too. Okay, everyone. Are you ready to share your poems? Guess I should grab mine. After making sure the crayon box is closed tightly, I return to my seat. A little bit of Monica over there. Hi again, Interest. It's pretty good. It makes me think of Sayori, like that other one that you wrote. Oh, she's keeping track. She's keeping track. Oh my goodness, she's keeping track. You two are like a dynamic duo. That's kind of exaggerating it. Yeah, probably. But you do spend a lot of time with her, you know? Then again, I don't blame you for being a little shy. I'm not shy, I'm just teasing. I know it takes a bit of time to make friends with everyone. But Yuri and Natsuki are super interesting people, so don't be afraid to give them their share of time. I already did. And you can talk to me every now and then too. I tried. Believe me, Monica, I've tried. I'm not like unapproachable or anything, am I? No, it's nothing like that. I'm just getting used to being here, that's all. Yeah, I'm sorry if I was putting pressure on you or something. I really didn't mean it like that. No, don't worry. I get what you're saying. Well, alright. But anyway. Thanks for listening. Natsuki. Oh, new dialogue. Well, it's not really any worse than your last one. But I can't really say it's any better either. Yeah. Phew, what? Anything that isn't a train wreck, I'll take as a win. And I get the feeling you're probably the most critical. Hey, what makes you... Wait, maybe that was a compliment? Ha, glad to see someone recognizes my experience. Well then, keep practicing and maybe you'll be as good as me someday. That's, something tells me Natsuki completely missed the point. I don't know. He meant one thing, she believed another. Oh well. Come to think of it, this kind of reminds me of Sayori's poem from yesterday. You think so? Yeah. Well, I guess if you've been friends with her for so long, you might be on the same wavelength. Yeah. Oh, and she's smiling too, so she's not being that critical. But you'll never really struck me as her type. Sayori has a type all of a sudden? Well, I don't know, but honestly, how can someone as fluffy spend so much time with someone like you? It's like she's dragging around a dead weight. That was a little unnecessary. No, it was a little... I'll give her that. But think of it this way. If it weren't for me, she probably would just fly away like letting go of a balloon. That's a good analogy. You could say we each take care of each other in our own way. Whatever it is, I don't get it. Oh yeah, I guess I'm supposed to share my poem. Here. Made me like spiders, once again. Not bad, right? It's quite a bit longer than yesterday's. Yesterday's was too short. That's what I do best, after all. I don't like writing unless there's a good message to take away from it. Oh, there's more dialogue, okay. Like, conveying emotions is important, but I want to make people think, not just feel. Remember that. I'm gonna write a good one for tomorrow, so look forward to it. Yuri, okay. Maybe she... Oh. Wow, Yuri, you're like the most bland out of the four right now. You're not sharing any new dialogue, girl. Okay, but hopefully the next day you will. Mainly because you didn't even want to share anything with me on the last run. So, Sayori. Interest. I really love your poems. I can't believe you've been hiding these from me. I'm not hiding anything. But your poems are so good. Yesterday's, and this one too. You can't tell me you haven't done this before. I mean, you're really the only one who feels this way, so... No way. Not even Natsuki? Well, I guess Natsuki's the least likely to admit how she likes something. But I don't think it's that. What do you mean? Well, I guess I'll be honest about it. It's a lot easier to write about poems when I'm thinking about you. Oh. Stop thinking weird things, idiot. Oh, come on, you like her and you know it. I just mean that you're a really expressive person, I guess. How am I supposed to write poems about my own stupid life? Oh, Ventress, are you being a tsundere? But you somehow make everything in your life an adventure. Even the little things. Like cooking. You set the house on fire, Sayori. That's not an adventure. Let's not talk about that. So yeah. I guess what I'm saying is that I can feel more feelings through you than I can through myself. Ah, that is poetic, my friend. Did you get that off a cookie jar? Oh wait, no. Fortune cookie. Dang it, I missed my delivery. We have that kind of weird connection. It's your fault for getting in my business all the time. Huh? I don't know if I understand. You never understand when I try to explain things to you, do you, Sayori? I pat Sayori's head. Hey, kid, you know? Are you sure about that? John Cena meme. Are you sure about that? maybe. Sayori starts fiddling with her pencil between her hands. Hey, Interest, you give me your poem? I kinda wanna keep it. Why? Because, well, that's the first time you've written something for me. Sayori, you completely misunderstood. I didn't write this for you. She's not letting it go, is she? Are you even listening anymore? Well, whatever. I'll give it to you when we go home. Really? Snap. Ah! I broke my pencil. Sayori hastily bends to pick up the piece she dropped. But being inattentive to her surroundings, she bumps right into me. At least she didn't bump her forehead this time. Sorry. It's fine. I'll get it for you. I bend down to pick up the broken pencil. Sayori clutches the desk beside her to support herself, knees shaking. Sayori, she's thinking weird things again, isn't she? A little clumsy today. Is it really that, though? I think she's not being clumsy. Well, I mean, she is being clumsy, but not in that natural sort of way, like, there's an outside force involved. Let's sit down, Sayori. Yeah. I grab Sayori's arm and help her sit at her desk. Anyway, I still haven't read your poem. Oh, sorry, I forgot about that. But it's not as good as yours. Don't worry, I'm sure I'll like it. Bottles. Okay, we read this one. Alright. So we're just gonna start because it seems to be mostly the same. Okay. So let's just say that one day Yuri asked to walk home with you. Okay, so Sayori doesn't know me personally, but you know, I'm more of a Natsuki boy. Anyway. Huh? What would you do? What kind of question is that? You're kind of putting me on the spot here. Well, I mean, I guess since the first file was Yuri, I guess that makes sense. So, I would still walk home with you, Sayori. Don't worry. Sayori, do you really think I would ditch you for Yuri? Huh? But she's so beautiful and smart. I mean, that she is. I'll give her that. It's just... there's something about her that just makes my eyes want to pop out. Okay. I already see her in the club every day. Besides, you always seem to really like going home together. I wouldn't just ruin that for you. You're so silly, Interest. You think about me too much sometimes. Yuri would deserve it if she wanted it, so... maybe that Natsuki would deserve it more, honestly. Sayori, I've already made up my mind. I mean, Natsuki would deserve it more than Yuri. That's what I'm saying. I'm not sure about Sayori. We're just going with the Sayori route this time. Sayori, I already made up my mind. I really can't figure you out sometimes. Sorry. Besides, what's the point of speculating something that's never going to happen? The conversation trails off. It's kind of weird thing for Sayori to care about so much. But I want to respect her and keep her happy too. Yeah. Then again, the festival is only a few days away. Who knows what will happen in that time? Time to write a love poem. And it's right on depression. What are you trying to tell me, game? Tears? Raindrops? Oh, that's Yuri. Oops. Spinning. Oh, come on. That should have been a Sayori thing. She's always spinning in the hallway. Tragedy. Twirl. Oh, come on. Okay. It's definitely not socks. It's loud. Atone. Despise. Sayori. Oh, come on. Okay, we're doing bad. This is the last poem. We're doing bad. Fireworks. Okay. Imagine... Okay, okay. Focus. Focus. I am not sure what to do here. These words... Chocolate. It's gotta be Natsuki. Oh, Yuri. You could be Yuri too. Unending. That's Yuri. Extraordinary. That's Yuri. Peaceful. That could be Yuri or Sayori. Time. That could be... Is it time? No! Dang it. Marriage. Sayori. Thank you. Shiny. Okay, I'm doing so bad at this. Okay. I did not save. I did not save. I gotta get these right. I gotta get these right. From now on. What could it be? Is it... Come on. Skirt? No, wait, no. Flying. Okay. Unrequited. Yay, okay. We're coming back. Is it amazing? That sounds like a Sayori word, and it is. It is a Sayori word. Okay. Focus. Focus. Is it dream? It's not a dream. Is it sing? Okay. Nibble is Natsuki. I almost fell for that one. Clouds? It's gotta be clouds. No. No, rain cloud is hers. Okay, so puppy. That's probably a Natsuki thing. Dance. Which makes me want to dance. Yay. I said hop. Nope. Explosion. No. It's joy. Okay, the last 5 were great. How well did we do? New dialogue. Okay, so neither Yuri or Natsuki got close to me. Okay. Let's go with Sayori because she's the one... Okay. She's our target. This is your best one so far. Okay, we did it. We did it, boys and girls. We did it. Okay. And we're getting so close to the end already, aren't we? Because we're going to skip a whole lot. We're going to skip a majority of the weekend. It's really nice entrance. Thanks. Sayori, you've been a little quiet today. Is everything alright? Huh? Of course. Everything is fine. You're just a little tired today. Do you want a nap or something? No, that's silly. Don't worry about me, okay? I only want to see smiles on your face. Well, alright. Hey, Antris. I'm so... I really thought that you would try writing your poems like the way Yuri does. Or even Natsuki. Or even Natsuki. What is that supposed to mean? But in the end... Yeah. I guess you're the one who likes this one the most. Why? Oh, music's gone. You don't want to get closer with everyone else? Wait. Of course I do. But that doesn't mean I need to try so hard to impress them. Yes. You shouldn't try... Just go with what's natural, you know? When you try to impress people, if they're not on the same wavelength, then ditch them. Or, I mean, be their friends, but or acquaintances at least, but, you know, don't expect anything bigger. I still understand you the most, Sayori. I know you have to sometimes put up with me. And I have to sometimes put up with you. But we have a wavelength or something. How the poem came out. Sometimes it feels like you're the only exciting thing in my life. So sometimes it's just easier to write them without thinking about you. Sayori? No. Interest. I don't deserve this. Wait, is she gonna fess up early? You're too nice to me. Why are you doing this? Sayori has trouble keeping her voice steady all of a sudden. If you had fun with everyone else instead, this would be so much easier. Sayori. I glance around the room to make sure nobody has noticed this. Sayori. I probably never said this before, but I don't understand what you're feeling right now. Tell me what will cheer you up. Well, I mean, she just said it, but she's lying. Or is she? Honestly, this whole situation is really confused me because on one hand, you're thinking, is Sayori being completely honest with me and herself? On the other, you feel so sure that she is. So, you know, it can be a little confusing. In the end, I'm still confused about what Sayori is thinking through her depression. Like, are these her real thoughts? Because she says she wants me to be happy. She wants, well, the MC to be happy. But it's killing her. And like I said, depression is kind of a complex issue. It's not easy to define. Maybe I'm not meant to define this moment. Like, dance Alvaro, you magnificent man. How dare you make me feel these feelings? But anyway, it's no time to laugh. It's time for this. She sniffles and keeps shaking her head. Come on, Sayori. She gathers herself and puts on a smile. It's nothing, Interest. It's just a little rain cloud. I'm sorry you had to see that. I promise it won't happen again. Just smiles from everyone, okay? That's all that matters. Go play with everyone else. I'm gonna go home a little bit early today. Sayori, tell Monica I wasn't feeling well, okay? I'll see you tomorrow. Before I can say anything else, Sayori cheerfully walks out the classroom, humming to herself. Monica, can you explain this? Haha. It's kind of funny. How so? No, not the poem. I mean, it's funny how your poems and Sayori's poems have been getting more and more similar to each other every day. I'm surprised you're so in sync with her. Then again, you've been spending a lot of time together lately. I guess you could say that. Although we kind of grew up as best friends, I haven't been seeing her as much as this past year. But since I joined the club, we've been spending a lot of time together again. I see. That reminds me about how Sayori's been a little off today. Yeah? Did she tell you something? Well, Andres, you haven't been flirting with her, have you? Of course not. I've been treating her like I always do. Oh, new dialogue. Alright. Just making sure. I know how much you care about her. It would be terrible if something bad happened to her, so keep an eye on her. Sayori's been acting so much happier ever since you joined the club. What could have happened all of a sudden? But never mind. You got into her head, Monica. The Natsuki Route both say it. You've been getting into her head. It's implied. Like what? What did you whisper to her, honestly? Well, never mind. This really isn't the time to be talking about this. Anyway, I'll share my poem with you, alright? Alright. Yeah, you're the lady who knows everything. Yuri, I'm more curious what you have to say now. Yuri doesn't look too enthusiastic about spending time with me. Ah, okay. Guess if she changes her mind, she'll come to me. But I should leave her be for now. Is Natsuki gonna say the same thing? I think she's gonna say the same thing. Next. This one's alright. Oh! Alright. Well, yeah. About as good as yesterday's anyway. I see what you're doing. I see what you're going for, but it's just not really my style. I mean, fine. I'm mostly just glad that you're trying a little bit. Well, of course I'm at least trying. Why are you so emotionally invested in my poems anyway? Isn't that more of a compliment to me? No. Gross. It's not like I care. Just that one of us in this club has to make sure you're not slacking off. Really? Well, what if you ended up just scaring me away? That's, it's not like you would actually do that. Yeah, you're right. It's kind of fun to hang out here, even if I just have to put up with you. Oh, wow, harsh. Gah. Natsuki's elbow connects with my stomach. Oh, maybe I won't mind scaring you away after all. I was just joking. Oh, I know. Oh, man, that grin is unsettling all of a sudden. Don't worry, I was too. Then why am I in pain? How do you call that a joke? That seriously hurt. It was funny to her. I guess that's kind of the point. I should really just watch my mouth on Natsuki. Yeah, no. I mean, this is something I like about Natsuki, okay? She's not... Okay, as impulsive as she isn't gonna deal with your crap, okay? She's not. Like, if you say something incredibly rude or mean, this is how she responds. And honestly, I like that. Anyway, she holds out her poem to me like nothing even happened. I'll be your beach. Your mind is so full of troubles and fears. I haven't read this one. That diminished your wonder over the years, but today I have a special place, a beach for us to go. A shore reaching beyond our side, your side. A sea that sparkles with brilliant light. The walls in your mind will melt away before the sunny glow. I'll be the beach that washes your worries away. I'll be the beach that you daydream about each day. I'll be the beach that sleep. In a way you thought had left you long ago. Okay. Let's bury your heavy thoughts in a pile of sand. Bathe in sunbeams and hold my hand. Wash your insecurities in the salty sea, and let me see you shine. Let's leave your memories in the footprint trail. Set you free in my windy sail. And remember the reasons you're wonderful when you press your lips to mine. I'll be the beach that washes your worries away. I'll be the beach that you daydream about every day. I'll be the beach that makes your heart leap in a way you thought had left you long ago. But if you let me be by your side, your own beach, your own escape, you'll learn to love yourself again. Ah. I know someone who could use this poem. Yeah. I felt like I kept writing about negative things, so I wanted to write something with a nice message for once. Besides, the beach is awesome. Kinda hard to write anything negative about. So you decided to write about the beach first, and then came up with the message later. Yeah, well, it's only because what happened yesterday. I mean, after you and I realized we kind of wrote about the same thing, we wanted to pick a topic and have us both write about it, or whatever. She wanted to pick a topic and have us both write about it, or whatever. Okay, I see. So she wrote the same thing? I don't really have much to contribute here, since I didn't actually read Yuri's poem. Yeah, I didn't because she didn't want to show it to me. You can really see her doing that too. Making us write about a simple topic, then trying to impress me by coming up with something all fancy. Well, it's not like I care. I just did it anyway. I mean, I guess mine ended up being kind of metaphorical too. But there's nothing wrong with doing that once in a while. Okay, well, character development for you too, girl. Good for you. At the very least, it was pretty good practice. Okay. Okay, so y'all are arguing about who I'm going to spend time with. Sayori. I mean, if it's going to be anyone, then I prefer helping Sayori. I mean, we already neighbors then. But Monica said that Sayori was helping her. Jeez. Do you really hate us that much? No. Sorry. I didn't mean for this to be difficult. I just think about the club, okay? Okay. So I'm stuck with Natsuki and Yuri. I'm gonna go with Natsuki because, like I said, she's my favorite. But it's gonna be so hard to reject her in favor of Sayori because I had to pick Sayori this time. In contrast to Yuri, if I spend time with her, it's not gonna feel as bad if I turn her down for Sayori. I mean, it's not gonna feel bad for me, honestly. That's what I mean. In the end, I'm gonna break both their hearts, aren't I? Man, it's not like it'll matter. It's just... Look at me. Look at me putting much thought into 2D characters. Let's go with Yuri. Well, it'll probably be most useful helping out Yuri. Me? Are you serious? Why would you... Natsuki, I can already tell you're about to say something mean. No. Oh, what you saying? Well, I mean, girl, you did hit me in the... You did put an elbow in my stomach. What did you expect? Okay. Skip. Even though I would have... Sayori. Yeah, she was my first option. My anxiety still shoots through the roof. I guess I've gotten pretty used to handling her at this point. But who knows what might end up happening once we're outside of school? She even told me she was looking forward to it. I shake my head. Why do I feel nervous that Sayori finds out about this? Well, buddy, it's not like we feel that way about each other. Besides, like Monica said, this is about the club. I have nothing to worry about. I just go with it, then I'll have a good time. It's already Sunday. We're gonna save. Because I simply haven't saved. Well, we're gonna skip. I'm sorry, Sayori. Let's see if anything changes, okay? Nope, nothing. Guys, I'm actually just freaking the out right now. Here, is this new dialogue, or is it just gonna force me through? Okay. Like I said, Yuri isn't my least favorite anymore. So it's not the end of the world if, you know, if I end up with Yuri. But her movement seems clumsier, like she's unable to focus. Okay. That should do it. I think came out better than I expected. I'm really happy with the results. Yeah, me too. Oh wait, is this a little different? Are you going to add the lettering now? Not yet. It needs to dry first. That's true, but won't that take a while? Well, perhaps it would be best to leave it here, then have you bring it in the morning. I can do the lettering in the classroom before our event starts. Is that okay? That's totally fine. Wonderful. In that case, I don't think there's anything more for us to do here. Phew. You could say that. You say that like you're glad it's over. Well, yeah, honestly, I am this time. So wrong to assume that you were at least enjoying yourself a little bit? No, it's not. It's not that. I'm just glad that we managed to get everything done. I see. I am too. I was just a little concerned about time. I need to start making dinner soon. So you don't have any time left. I was secretly hoping we could have extra time after we finishing the work. Time for what? Well, thanks to herself. I think it would be too irresponsible for me to wait much longer. I'm sorry. Yuri never did say if she lived alone or if she lived with somebody. Does she have a big family? I mean, maybe she does have a family. I mean, maybe she does live with loving parents and this reminds me of Kimi Todoke. Yeah, that's the name of the anime. Like, it's about a girl and people call her Sadako because of how she looks. But really, she's a sweet girl who starts making friends. And honestly, she's kind of reminds me of Yuri. So maybe I'm thinking maybe the twist here is that maybe she has a loving family and she's just... Maybe I'll find out in the side stories. Anyway. My heart's beating right now, honestly. But it's not for the reason you expect. It sounds like she rarely spend time with friends in a relaxed environment. But that doesn't mean this is the last time it can happen. Thank you so much for having me today. No problem. I was glad that I was able to help. Just let me know if there's anything else you need from me to bring tomorrow. I will. Well then, Yuri fidgets. Guess I'll see you tomorrow. Wait. I kind of say that without thinking. About today? It's fine that we didn't have as much time as we wanted. Because we can do this again. Whenever you want, you can come over so we can go out somewhere. I forgot you don't like going out much. Okay. Here we go. I guess this is a safety mechanism because they don't want us to skip all the way to the end. And believe me, you don't want to reach the end. Just wait and see. It hurts so much. I know, Sayori. I know. Monica was right. Well, she was right about what? Tell me, Sayori. You're not a burden. I'm scared too, Sayori. Believe me, I'm scared. But not about that. Yeah, of course I know what's best for you. Okay. Decision time. And y'all know what I'm going for. I love you. Sayori, this whole time I was writing poems about you. And I subconsciously was aware of how I felt. I just didn't want to admit it. Girl, I mean, we could have wonderful lives. I'll even pay for your copy of Final Fantasy XIV. Did you know that the game is free up until Heavensward? Sorry, it's not the time to be joking, is it? Sayori? I love you. Those are my true feelings. So there's no way you could like me more than I like you. I should have realized it sooner. But spending time with everyone at the club, making new friends, and having fun with you every day, it helped me realize that you are truly the most important person to me. That's why I'll accept your burdens, any of your burdens. As long as we continue like this every day, with you by my side, then I know we'll both be happy. Antris. Aww. Suddenly, Sayori wraps her arms tightly around me. She's crying. Antris. Is this really okay? Yeah. I hold Sayori in my arms and pull her closer. You'll never have to let go of me again. I love you, Interest. I want to be with you forever. Me too. I feel Sayori's grip around me weaken a little bit. So what is the story with these two anyway? I mean, do they live with their families or do they live alone? I mean, they're 18 and I guess the age of consent in Japan is 16? Because this is supposed to take place in Japan-ish. So it would make sense if they're living alone. It's just... I mean, I guess it doesn't matter if you have family or not, and you can still feel depressed. You just become better at hiding it. Her grip her grip around me weakens a little bit. What is this? Sayori? I'm supposed to be happy right now. I always thought this would be the happiest moment for me. She loved me from the beginning. Poor girl. But why? Even now? Why won't the rain clouds go away? They're not going away at all, Interest. It's okay, Sayori. Sayori, you said it yourself. Like when you read sad poems, it gives the rain cloud a little hug. So it's okay to be sad right now. Let it all out, okay? And then once you calm down, maybe your head will get a little more clearer. It might take some time for things to get better again. But no matter how long it takes, I'll be there every step of the way. And that's how someone who loves you should act, okay? Do you have a mental illness? Are you crippled? Like physically crippled? Is something just really wrong with you? Someone who truly loves you would try to help you despite that. It's a different thing if you hurt them. Because mental illness, this is a hard pill to swallow for a lot of people. Mental illness doesn't excuse you from mistreating others. Okay? Like, yes, you could call that a Freudian excuse. But that's all it is as well. It's an excuse. Okay? However, this is not the case here. These two really love each other. And well, he loves her enough for him to declare this every step of the way. And honestly, all a depressed person needs sometimes is just for someone to be with them. Like, they don't have to do much. It really depends on the person, but a lot of depressed people will prefer that. Like, they understand that you can't help them. Not always, anyway. But if you're just there with them, then you're already doing a lot of good. At least Sayori won't feel alone. That's all that matters right now. Okay. I trust you. Sayori and I slowly release each other. I mean, it kind of makes you wish there was a kiss at least. So, I guess that makes the festival tomorrow our first date, huh? What are you saying? I don't want to think about those things. What? I want everything to be the same as it always has been. We really are a couple. I don't know if I could handle anything more right now. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's the thing about relationships. If the girl doesn't want to be pushed, don't push her. Okay? Don't push her. Believe me, when I was a silly young boy who didn't understand feelings, I would make that mistake. Take it from me who's tried and failed. Do not push a girl out of her comfort zone. Let her come out on her own. It's really new and scary to me. I understand. We'll go at whatever pace suits you best. Hey, Interest. Sayori gazes at me once again, smiling sadly. Even if I get really, really sad, this is the best thing for me. But you're doubting yourself again. No, don't. I don't really understand what Sayori means by that. Are you saying that this is making you feel sad, Sayori? I don't know. I don't understand what I'm feeling. I felt like a bunch of thorns when you told me you loved me. Oh, come on. But that's why I want to trust you. You know what's best for me. Yeah, I do. That's my promise. I say that, but in reality, I never felt more uncertain when it comes to Sayori. Yeah, that's how I feel too. I mean, it really makes me think on what I just said. I know that I love her, and she loves me. But I'm having as much trouble understanding Sayori's feelings as she is. Even though I can comfort her. I keep wondering if I should be or something different. I know these thoughts will continue to plague me until things are back to the way they were. Is that what Sayori meant by not wanting anything to change? I don't know. But I know that I'll give it everything I've got. Sayori is the most important person to me. And I'll do whatever it takes to have a happy future with her. Here we go, everybody. There's no going back. Okay? We're gonna go all the way to the end of Act 1 because it's almost over. But what can I say? I got all of Yuri's CG sequences, like when she's reading the book, when she has the chocolate in her mouth, and when she's at my house. And then Natsuki, who was sitting beside me, and then I was helping her with her manga, and then when she was at my house, and then Sayori, when we both, when I was buttoning her blazer, when we went to a different classroom. And right now, just now when she hugged me, that's 9 CG sequences. 3 for each girl, except 1. The 10th one, I know what it is. We all know what it is. It's gonna come in the future. Not right now, but soon. Guys, I'm legit freaking out right now. It's 2 a.m. in the morning right now, and my lights are on, and I'm still scared to proceed. So, I'm gonna lower my volume, because I'm a chicken wuss like that. It's the day of the festival. Of all days, I expect it to be the one. I expect this to be the one where I'd like to be walking to school with Sayori. But Sayori isn't answering her phone. I considered going to her house to wake her up, but I decided that's a little too much. Meanwhile, the preparations for the event should be nearly complete. The banner Yuri and I painted is dry, and I gently rolled it up to take with me. So what I was saying is that, okay, so maybe I would break Yuri's and Natsuki's hearts by choosing Sayori over them. But at least Natsuki and I haven't bonded over the weekend. Like, there's no bond to break, so she's not gonna feel that heartbroken. Yuri, on the other hand, I'm sorry to be doing this with her, but I prefer her over Natsuki. It's just, the whole situation's complicated and screwy, which makes me glad that this is a game that's seriously screwing with my mind right now. She sent me a pleasant not to forget anything, and I reassured her. Funnily enough, I probably feel the same way as Natsuki about the event. I'm more excited for it to be over so I can spend time with Sayori and Yuri at the festival. But knowing Monica, I'm sure the event will be great too. Come on, aren't you being at least a little bit of sus of Monica? Come on. You know, she told Sayori something that Sayori didn't want to tell me. Interest. You're the first one here. Thanks for being early. That's funny. I thought at least Yuri would be here by now. Monica is placing little booklets on each of the desks in the classroom. It's really quiet. They must be the ones she prepared that have all the poems we are performing. In the end, I found a random poem online that I thought Monica would like, and I submitted it. Okay, so to break the tension a little bit, I should probably recite a poem. What kind of poem would I for something like this? Let me just look up something a little. Let me just look for a little something that I have online, and let the record show that this is not my poem. To care is a gift, to love is a blessing. Once you know and once you do, it's hard to forget. I care for you, more than I do anyone else. I give you something as I give you my words. Something you might want, or something you might not. But I do truly care for you. So that's the one I'll be performing. I'm surprised you didn't bring Sayori with you. Yeah, she overslept again. That dummy. You'd think that on a day like this, important, she'd try a little harder. I say that, but what Sayori told me yesterday, and I feel like a prick about it. And suddenly feel awful knowing it's not nearly that simple for her. I only said it because it's the way I'm used to thinking. But, maybe I should have gone to wake her up after all? You should take a little responsibility for her interests. I mean, especially after your exchange with her yesterday. You kind of left her hanging this morning, you know? It's change. Monica, you know about that? Of course I do. I'm the club president after all. What does that have to do with it? But I stammer, embarrassed. Sayori really told her about it that quickly? That we're a couple now? I didn't really plan on bringing it up with anyone yet. Jeez. You don't know the full story at all, so don't worry. I probably know a lot more than you think. Monica's being friendly as usual, but for some reason I felt a chill down my here and that. Hey, do you want to check out the pamphlets? They came out really nice. Yeah, sure. I grabbed one of the pamphlets laid out on the desk. Oh yeah, they really did. Something like this will definitely help people take the club more seriously. Yeah, I thought so too. I flipped through the pages. Each member's poem is neatly printed on its own page, giving it an almost professional feel. I recognized Natsuki and Yuri's poems from the ones they performed during our practice. What's this? I flipped to Sayori's poem. It's different from the one she practiced. It's one I haven't read before. Get out of my head, get out of my head, get out of my head, get out of my head. Get out of my head. Get out of my head. Get out of my head before I do what I know is best for you. Get out of my head before I listen to everything she said to me. Get out of my head before I show you I love you. Get out of my head before I finish writing this poem. But a poem is never actually finished. It just stops moving. What is this? Reading the poem, I get a pit in my stomach. Interest? What's this? There's something in my files. Whatever could it be? Oh. Oh no. Yeah, this has been sitting on my files, and well, here it is, everybody. I don't want to look at the pictures, but I have to. Okay. 3 new pictures. Okay. I'm... a sketch page by David Evelyn to test and compare different hairstyles of Sayori. Oh, that's cute. That's really cute. Oh, that's actually amazing. Why didn't they go with this design? Guys, I'm scared. I'm scared right now. Music. There's something new, but I don't see it. Okay. Volume is low enough for me to still hear it. Here we go. Interest? What's wrong? What do you mean, what the fuck is wrong? I'm sorry for cursing, but seriously. Monica, you put this in the pamphlet. You know what's wrong. Nothing, no. Everything's definitely wrong. This poem feels completely different from everything else Sayori's written. Yeah, no, you really think so, Butter? But more than that, I changed my mind. I'm going to get Sayori, so... well, alright. Try not to take too long, okay? I quickly leave the classroom. Don't strain yourself. She calls out after me. I quicken my pace. What was I thinking? I should have tried a little bit harder for Sayori. It's not a big deal to at least wait for her or help her wake up. Even the simple gesture of walking her to school makes her really happy. Besides, I told her yesterday that things will be the same as they always have been. That's all she needs, and that's what I want to give her. I reach Sayori's house and knock on the door. I don't expect an answer since she's not picking up her phone either. Like yesterday, I'll open the door and let myself in. Sayori. She really is a heavy sleeper. I swallow. I can't believe I ended up doing this after all. Waking her up in her own house. That really is something that a boyfriend would do, isn't it? In any case, it just feels right. Outside Sayori's room, I knock on her door. Sayori? Wake up, dummy. There's no response. I really didn't want to have to enter her room like this. Isn't it kind of a breach of privacy? Which really leaves me no choice. I gently open the door. Sayori? No. Sayori. Guys, my heart's pounding right now. Like this. My heart's pounding. What? Is this a nightmare? Oh, buddy, you don't know the half of it. Here we go, guys. Let's go. It has to be. This isn't real. There's no way this can be real. Sayori wouldn't do this. Everything was normal until... That's why I can't believe what my eyes are showing me. I suppressed the urge to vomit. Just yesterday, I told Sayori I would be there for her. I told her I know what's best and that everything will be okay. Then why? Why would she do this? How could I be so helpless? What did I do wrong? Confessing to her. I shouldn't have confessed to her. That's not what Sayori needed at all. She even told me how painful it is for others to care about her. Then why did I confess to her and make her feel even worse? Why was I so selfish? This is my fault. My swarming thoughts keep telling me everything I could have done to prevent this. If I just spent more time with her, walked her to school, and remained friends with her like it always has been, then I could have prevented this. No, listen. You didn't see it, but the hints were there. Sayori loved us, okay? But more specifically, she loved the MC, the main character. She loved him. There's no denying that. Like I said, depression is a complex issue. And sometimes we're not going to get the answers we need or the answers we want simply because of that simple fact. Then I could have prevented this. I know I could have prevented this. Screw the literature club. Screw the festival. I just lost my best friend. Someone I grew up with. She's gone forever now. Nothing I do can bring her back. This isn't some game where I can reset and try something different. I had only one chance, and I wasn't careful enough. And now I'll carry this guilt with me until I die. Nothing in my life is worth more than hers. But I still couldn't from me. And now, I can never take it back. Never. 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 End. That's not the end. Oh, this is terrible. Load game. Oh, at least my files are still there. Oh my goodness, okay. We're gonna move forward with Act 2. But we're gonna stop after a few minutes, okay? Stream's almost over. Blah? I see an annoying girl running towards me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is blah 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 blah, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk together to school on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase me after like this, I feel like I'm better off running away. However, I just saw an idol in front of the crosswalk and let blah 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 catch up to me. Oh boy. It's an ordinary school, like any other. I just got a new trophy. Start a new game. Mornings are usually the worst, being some friend groups walking to school together. Meanwhile, I've always walked to school alone. Always. Like, I never walked to school or home with anybody else ever in my life. Seriously. I always tell myself it's about time I meet some girls or something like that. But I have no motivation to join any clubs. I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. There's always the anime club, but it's not like there will be any girls in it anyway. Yep, gotta agree there. I mean, some girls do love anime. It's just when a girl joins, if a girl were to join an anime club, I can already tell it's gonna be an uncomfortable experience for her. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. There really aren't any that interesting. Besides, most of them will probably be anything for me to want to deal with. I guess I'll have no choice but to start with the anime club. Interests? Oh. Monica. Hi. Fancy running into you here. What are you doing here? Oh my goodness. I totally didn't expect to see you here. It's been a while, right? Yeah, it has. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talk, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... What did you come in here for anyway? Oh, I've just been looking for some supplies to use for my club. Do you know if there's any construction paper in here? Or markers? I guess you could check the closet. You're in the debate club, right? Yeah, go in the closet and stay there. About that. You're not going in the closet. Okay. I actually quit the debate club. Really? You quit? Yeah. To be honest, I can't stand all the politics are in the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. In that case, what club did you decide to join? Actually, I'm starting a new one. Oh. A literature club. Okay. I know there's gonna be things that are gonna jump at me out of nowhere. So, guys, this is a sign for us to keep our guard up. I know I said I'm gonna end the stream soon. It's just, how many scares can we handle until then? Literature? That sounds kind of dull. How many members do you have so far? It's kind of embarrassing, but there are only 3 of us so far. It's really hard to find new members for something that sounds so boring. Well, I can see that. But it's not boring at all, you know? You're doing the finger pointing thing like Alf, you know, except unlike him, you're actually being annoying. Literature can be anything. Reading, writing poetry. Oh, writing poetry. I mean, one of my members even keeps her manga collection in the club room. Wait, really? Yeah, it's funny, right? She always insists that manga is literature too. I mean, she's not wrong, I guess. No, she's not wrong. No, she's the most cultured person in the club. I bet. Oh, not that I have met her yet. This is my first day. And besides, a member's a member, right? Did Monica say she? Hey, Andres. By any chance, are you still looking to join? I mean, I guess so, but in that case, is there any chance you could do me a big favor? I won't ask you to join, but if you could at the very least visit my club, it would really make me happy. Please? Well, I guess I have no reason to refuse. Besides, how could I ever refuse someone like Monica? Sure, I guess I could check it out. Haha, awesome. You're really sweet, Andres, you know that? It's nothing, really. Shall we go then? I'll look for the materials another time. You're more important. Well, thank you. What kind of horror are you going to subject me to this time, Monica? And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul to Monica, and her irresistible smile. Her adorable face. and her black, humorous puns. I dejectedly follow Monica across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit. Monica, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Oh my goodness. Her eyes, that's just nightmare fuel. I think that's new. I wasn't expecting that. That's new. That could have given me a heart attack. Crap. I'm back. And I brought a guest with me. Oh, shit. Okay. Okay. You know what? Oh! Oh! Oh, it deleted everything. It deleted everything. My files. Okay. You know what? We're getting out of here. Files. Oh! A new document. What is it? Oh, jeez. I didn't break anything, did I? Hold on a sec. I can probably fix this. I think. Actually, you know what? This will probably be a lot easier if I just deleted her. She's the one who's making this so difficult. Hahaha. Well, here goes nothing. Oh, that's definitely Monica. Side stories. Oh, wow. Okay, so I think this is all the side stories. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, there's supposed to be 6 side stories in Doki Doki Literature Club. So, we got trust with Sayori and Monica, understanding with Sayori and Yuri, respect with Natsuki and Monica, balance with Sayori and Natsuki, reflection with Yuri and Monica, and self-love and Yuri. Oh my goodness, okay. Yeah, and if you guys want a dose of black humor, you want to know what Sayori's death theme is? Sayonara. Okay? Like, seriously. I think this is less about Team Salvato's, you know, humor. I think it's more like this is something Monica would say. Because let's be real, we all know it's her at this point. Okay? We all know it's her. Like, I can finally come forward with this. We know it's Monica. She's behind this. Because one, on that traceback, Yuri wouldn't say something like that. Ha 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 ha. No, nothing like that. Or Natsuki either. Ha 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 ha. No. No, that's a Monica thing. Okay. So, let's look at some pictures and make fluffy again because, oh man, I do not. Okay. This is neat. You're mine. No, I'm not, Monica. I'm not. I'm not yours. Okay, so where's Sayori's poem? Second poem. Does Sayori not have a third poem? What are these blank spaces? Oh no, what did I miss? I missed something, didn't I? What did I miss? I do like the beach though. I'll give her that. So many secrets. Well, maybe not as many. I'm actually scared to delve deeper into this. Okay. Okay, good. They don't have the Sayori picture. That's good. You know which one I'm talking about. This is adorable. Sayori with the cow. Sayori. This. I'm setting this as my wallpaper. There. Alright, guys. We're gonna end this on a good note. Suffice to say, we're jumping into a point where none of us are safe anymore. Okay? Like, honestly, I want to think back on all the things I said during the Sayori cutscene. Like, I already forgot most of what I said. Like, honestly, yeah, like I said about people with mental illness, yes. Like, yes, mental illness does exist. And, you know, we should help mentally ill people as much as we can. The thing about that is, we also can't let ourselves get stepped on. Because sometimes, I mean, mental illness can be a little minor. Like, it screws with your head. But at the same time, some people know better than, you know, than take advantage of the situation. But they do anyway. Advantage of the situation, thinking, oh, well, she believes I'm mentally ill, so she's not going to try to hurt me. She's going to let me get away with this. No. Listen. I've met somebody who was mentally ill, and even she was aboard by how my ex was treated me. So, yeah. No, what else can I go with this? Honestly, I think I'm just gonna play some Final Fantasy XIV and hope I forget the horror I witnessed today. Because as ready as I was for it, it feels like I wasn't ready for it. It really feels that way. So, without further ado, thanks a bunch, guys. Please catch my stream. And catch my streams, and if you can probably see the top of my channel and see that there's a YouTube link. Subscribe, what I have in there. It only takes a second, and you can back out of it anytime you wish. So, take care, y'all.